Come along with us for another Catalina 22 National Sailing Association cruise, this time October 2023. Our destination, the historic fishing village of McClellanville, some 35 miles north of Charleston, South Carolina. This fifth and final video is the last leg of our cruise as we make our way down the ICW from Graham Creek, slipping under the closed Ben Sawyer Bridge and back to Charleston, concluding with a foggy farewell as our visitors retrieve their boats and pack up for the next adventure. Due to the previous day's encounter with the shallow spot near McClellanville, this leg of the cruise will be a bit longer than planned. We are nearly 28 nautical miles from the Cooper River Marina. We make an early start and take advantage of the current. Shawnee is making nearly 5 knots as we enter the ICW. The full moon has given us more than pretty pictures. It's also responsible for the king tide. In Charleston, the average high tide is around 5.5 feet, whereas a king tide event can have tides reaching 7 feet or higher. Floating docks level out. Benning Creek floods the marsh leading to Bulls Bay. And fishing near the marsh at high king tide must be good, as we saw a number of fishermen, especially in kayaks and flat-bottom boats. This trip down the ICW in a high tide is radically different from the trip up on the same waterway just a few days ago, as seen by this clump of trees. Just after red marker 80, we enter Price Creek, and just beyond, on the west side of the ICW, is Clawson Creek and Moyes Island. The Moyes family has been in Charleston, South Carolina for more than 4 centuries. Ben Moyes, who was born in 1943, served with distinction as a South Carolina game warden, patrolling the coastal waters and woods of the Palmetto State. He purchased this island in 1985. It's about 1/5 of an acre at high tide and includes a 1-room cabin, open cook shed, outhouse, and campfire area. Ted's sharp eye notices a bald eagle perched on the ridge of the cabin's roof. He called my attention to it, and we both took our best shots. We hoped he would have taken flight, but it seemed he was content just to keep watch. Been the dream. 1 September, we're going to do that. The looper 1 September from Virginia Beach makes a slow pass near Capers Creek, and I start looking for the white pelicans huddled together on the oyster bar near green marker 105. These are American oyster catchers. Fun fact, they open clams and other prey by quickly jabbing their fire-red bills inside the bivalve shell and severing the muscle that pulls the shell halves shut. You can feel the tension building in the narrow waterway as we get closer to the end of the Isle of Palms Goat Island no-wake zone. By noon, we're following the looper My Time 2 under the Isle of Palms connector, and the parade of in-a-hurry-to-get-somewhere boats give the stabilizer in my camera a real workout. Just south of the Breach Inlet, the current changes and we pick up a little speed. we approached the Ben Sawyer Bridge connecting Sullivan's Island with the mainland of Mount Pleasant after we'd been motoring for nearly 5 hours from Graham Creek. The sloop Nugget waited for the bridge opening, but our little fleet of 22s slipped through the 33-foot air draft with room to spare.
I'm going to say 32 to 33.
Yeah.
Is that what?
Taking the middle of the bridge. That's good to know. That's good to know. Thanks for that.
When I get home, I'm going to measure everything out so I know what my clearance is.
Within 10 minutes of the Ben Sawyer Bridge, we are out of the cove and into the open water of Charleston Harbor. We yearned to put up the sails, but the current was ebbing, the winds were light, and the harbor was as choppy as a washing machine from all the motorboat traffic. After a few minutes, we furled the sails and Shawnee crossed the channel to get a look at the Charleston waterfront. We passed the ruins of the coal tipple. Encountered some daring fishermen battling the wakes, and finally tied up at the dock just before 4 p.m. Nearly 28 nautical miles in just under 8 hours. We were ready for a good dinner in town and an early lights out. Up before sunrise the next morning, Rhapsody in Sea and Wingin' It left the marina as fog began to rise over a pink sky.
I'll see you over there.
They motored across the river to Remley Point and Mount Pleasant to recover the boats with the rigs we staged there.
Just a little more. Two more.
I step back. I've had that happen before. I know it.
Hold it right there.
You got it worse line? Yeah. Click it.
I stop.
harder on this boat. I can't go any further.
Because the cabin top?
Well, yeah, it's got the plexiglass top.
Yeah.
I'm in.
All right. By the time the masts were down, boats secured for travel, and our cruise banner signed, the fog lifted and our visiting cruisers left for home under a clear blue Carolina sky.